What if one day, out of nowhere, the internet spoke directly to you? No ads, no clickbait, just a black image, white text, and a single message. We are looking for highly intelligent individuals. No explanation, no prize, just a riddle wrapped in a cipher pointing to a clue on a telephone pole in Tokyo or a code hidden in ancient poetry. This wasn't a game. It wasn't a marketing stunt. It was Cicada 3301. And to this day, no one knows who created it, what it wanted, or where it went. Some say it was a secret society, others a government test. A few whisper it was something even stranger. But one thing is certain, it was one of the greatest mysteries the internet has ever produced. And it may not be over. Welcome to Forgotten Forums, the show where we explore the internet's strangest mysteries, unsolved legends, creepypastas, and the digital folklore that shapes our world. Today's story isn't just mysterious, it's mind-bending, it's infuriating, it's maybe even genius. And it starts with a black background, white text, and an insect whose name most people don't even pronounce the same way. This is the story of Cicada 3301, a cryptic internet puzzle that captured the imaginations of hackers, codebreakers, philosophy majors, Reddit trolls, and conspiracy theorists around the globe. It appeared out of nowhere. It didn't ask for attention. It earned it. And then, just as mysteriously, it vanished like a ghost in the machine. But what was Cicada 3301 really? A recruitment scheme for an intelligence agency? A secret society built around cyberpunk ideals? A next-level alternate reality game? A cult of code worshippers? A troll too brilliant for its own good? Or maybe, just maybe, a test? For who knows what? Or who knows who? And the real question, the one that pulls us all in, isn't just what Cicada was, it's why it worked. Why this mystery, of all the internet's weirdness, cut through the noise and captivated people who had nothing in common except a need to know. Because that's what Cicada really tapped into, our desire to understand something that refuses to be understood. So today we're going deep, not just into the puzzles, the clues, the steganography, and the wild globe-spanning chase, but into what Cicada says about us, about our fears, our ego, our need for secrets, and our quiet, burning hope that somewhere just out of reach, there's a hidden world looking for someone just like us. Let's dive in. On January 4th, 2012, a user browsing 4chan's /bot board saw something strange. Amid the usual chaos of memes and offensive nonsense was a black image with a white message. Hello, we are looking for highly intelligent individuals. To find them, we have devised a test. There is a message hidden in this image. Find it, and it will lead you on the road to finding us. We look forward to meeting the few that will make it all the way through. Good luck. 3301. It was signed simply 3301 and stamped with the image of a cicada, an insect symbol long associated with cycles, secrecy, and underground transformation. The choice of a cicada wasn't random. Like the puzzle itself, it emerges, makes noise, and then vanishes. Someone tried opening the image in a text editor. Nothing. Someone else ran it through a steganography decoder. Bingo. Hidden inside was a message with a URL. Click the link, and it took you to a site with more clues. A countdown, cryptographic riddles, references to obscure literature, coded audio files, and strange ciphers with names like RSA, Caesar, and Visionaire. You didn't just need to be clever, you needed to be obsessed. This was no prank. It was hard, not just IQ test hard, esoteric hard, hacker hard. It required layers of knowledge, math, poetry, code, and the kind of cultural nerdery usually reserved for pub quiz champions and college dorm philosophers. It filtered people not just by brain power, but by type, and the deeper people dug, the weirder it got. Clues embedded in the Book of Exodus, GPS coordinates pointing to payphones in Poland and sidewalks in Sydney, messages encoded in noise, digital fingerprints embedded in forgotten corners of the dark web. Cicada's trail forced people to learn entire disciplines just to keep up. Clues led to real-world locations, payphones in Poland, posters in San Francisco, lampposts in Japan. There were QR codes and hidden images that pointed to obscure books, runes, and messages in ancient Mayan numerals. Some participants literally traveled thousands of miles just to snap pictures of a black and white flyer taped to a utility pole. And those flyers? Gone within hours, like digital mayflies. This wasn't some lonely hacker. This was organized. Someone had the resources, the reach, and the restraint to pull this off without a leak, without a tweet, and without asking for a single dollar. And it didn't stop, at least not yet. Each wave of the puzzle was more complex than the last. There were at least 3 confirmed Cicada 3301 puzzles, one in 2012, another in 2013, and a final round in 2014. Solvers had to be fluent in cryptography, steganography, number theory, classical literature, philosophy, and internet culture. The puzzles included hidden messages in image files using LSB steganography, audio spectrograms revealing Morse code, deep web links only accessible via Tor, philosophical references to William Blake and Agrippa by William Gibson, custom runes in a book titled Liber Primus written partially in Latin and partially in code. It wasn't just about solving riddles. It was a global digital treasure hunt, like Ready Player One, but with more RT-13 and fewer hoverboards. It blended digital sleuthing with real-world adventure, academic theory with hacker intuition. People weren't just solving puzzles, they were solving layers of puzzles. Every clue unlocked more questions. Every rabbit hole led to 5 more. The only reward was progress, and the prestige of getting one step further than everyone else. Some players dropped out from frustration. Others got obsessed, skipping meals and sleep to untangle obscure literary references or crack 2048-bit RSA keys. Discord servers and IRC channels popped up. Spreadsheets grew into wikis. The puzzle created its own microculture. A few claimed to reach the end and were invited into a private forum and then sworn to silence. What was the goal? According to Cicada, to recruit highly intelligent individuals for a cause. It was never about clicks or clout. There was no donation link, no ads. The cause, however, never revealed. And that absence, the vacuum where an answer should be, is what made the story linger. The lack of closure transformed Cicada from a clever puzzle into a living myth. Ah yes, here come the theories. Theory number 1, it was the NSA. This one makes sense on the surface. Cryptography, global scale, secrecy, all scream intelligence agency. Some think it was a recruitment campaign. Find the best, the brightest, the most paranoid, the digital equivalent of the CIA hanging out in college math departments. Theory number 2, it was a secret society. This theory has style. Cicada 3301 as a modern-day Freemasonry for the hyper-intelligent. A decentralized group promoting privacy, security, and anti-censorship values. Think the Illuminati, but more into PGP keys than world domination. Theory number 3, it was an ARG, alternate reality game. Some saw Cicada as an elaborate art project or viral marketing stunt, except for what? There was no product, no movie, no book tie-in, no NFT drop, just the puzzle. Theory number 4, it was AI. One truly bonkers theory posits Cicada was created by an artificial intelligence testing its reach and capability to recruit humans. Creepy, but oddly fitting. Theory number 5, it was a cult. Reddit threads abound with the idea that Cicada recruited people into a digital cult. What did they worship? Truth, secrecy, code, and the satisfaction of being in on something others never even knew existed. No matter the theory, no one has ever credibly claimed to be behind Cicada 3301, and if anyone solved it all the way through, they've stayed silent. Spooky. Let's pause and ask, why did Cicada captivate so many people? First, the challenge. Humans love puzzles, and Cicada offered the intellectual equivalent of Everest. Not just trivia or brain teasers. This was a test of commitment, obsession, and depth. There was no leaderboard, no points, no trophies, just the satisfaction of being one step closer to something undefined, mysterious, and maybe important. Second, the story. A secret group searching for brilliant minds. It was like every chosen one narrative rolled into one, except this one didn't come with a prophecy or a wand. It came with cryptographic hashes, ancient runes, and steganography. Solvers got to imagine they were auditioning for a world that operated in the shadows, that they were special enough to be noticed. That someone, somewhere, might see their skill and pull them into a hidden world of purpose and meaning. Third, the aesthetic. That stark black image, the white monospaced text, the cold, polite tone. It was minimalist, deliberate, and chilling in its simplicity. It felt like Fight Club meets The Matrix, with a dash of National Treasure and the cultic mystique of Eyes Wide Shut. It hinted at intelligence without ever bragging. And that hint was more seductive than any flashy branding could have been. And fourth, scarcity. The puzzle came once a year, then disappeared. No ads, no reminders, no merch drops, just a silent invitation and a ticking clock. You either noticed it or you missed it, and if you missed it, that was it. No second chances, no explanations. It felt sacred, almost ritualistic, the kind of thing that demanded reverence. And maybe that's the point. In a world of social media noise, shallow engagement, and algorithmic manipulation, Cicada offered something rare: silence, secrecy, intentionality. A game that didn't want your attention, it wanted your mind, your time, your patience, your respect. It treated participants like adults in a world of digital infantilization. And for many, that was thrilling in itself. Since 2014, Cicada has gone silent. Some say it ended, others think it moved underground. The Liber Primus remains partially unsolved. And rumors persist of hidden servers, private forums, encrypted logs, but nothing confirmed. Its influence, however, lives on. Cicada 3301 has inspired books, YouTube documentaries, and podcasts like this one, RGs and online puzzles using similar aesthetics, cryptography forums and hacker communities, wild theories that keep Reddit and YouTube deep dives alive. And it taught us something, that even in the era of TikTok, swipe fatigue, algorithmic content overload, and notifications screaming for our attention, we still crave depth. We still crave mystery. Not the kind you binge in 6 episodes, but the kind that resists being solved, that gnaws at your brain in the middle of the night. We crave riddles without clues, doors without handles, invitations without a return address. We crave the idea that there's something real hiding behind the layers of internet chaos, a secret that hasn't been monetized, simplified, or explained away. And maybe, just maybe, we still crave secrecy itself. Not because we want to hide, but because we want something that refuses to be shared, something sacred in an era of oversharing. Something to belong to without broadcasting it, a mystery that stays a mystery and asks only for your obsession in return. So what was Cicada 3301? A recruitment tool? A test? An art project? A cult? An alien intelligence trying to meet its nerdy match? A self-aware riddle trying to manifest a community of minds? A mirror held up to the internet itself? Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe Cicada was never meant to be solved. Maybe it was never about the answer, but about the journey. About seeing who keeps going when there's no promise of reward. About who thrives in the space between logic and intuition, between reason and obsession. Maybe it was just a mirror that showed us who we are when no one is watching, who we become when we're searching for something we can't even define. It reflected our longing for deeper meaning in a world that feels increasingly superficial. It showed us that even in an internet ruled by algorithms, clickbait, and distractions, we still yearn for puzzles, for quiet, for a mystery we can't scroll past. And maybe Cicada wasn't looking for a right answer at all, but for the kind of person who needs to ask the question. Thanks for listening to Forgotten Forums. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment your very own wildest theories about Cicada 3301, even if you don't know who's watching. And maybe that's the point. And if you do know who's behind Cicada 3301, tell them we're still waiting. We always will be.